we're going to kick this episode off with the quick take of the day. And what are we going to talk about today? Let's get into how Nigeria has green lit a national blockchain policy to boost its digital economy. Man, it is getting really exciting in this market. There are times where you're just like, man, I am scared. And there's times where you're like, man, the future is so bright. And this is one of those moments where the future is looking really, really bright. The Federal Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy developed the policy according to a statement tweeted by the ministry themselves. The tweet is as follows: the vision of the policy is to create a blockchain powered economy that supports secure transactions, data sharing, and value exchange between people, businesses, government, thereby enhancing innovation, trust, growth, and prosperity for all. What the tweet did not mention is that cryptocurrencies, which the government cracked down on in 2021, is not a part of something that they're looking to really bring into the fold, right? And so this is big, mainly because Nigerians are extremely fond of crypto. They have been pretty receptive to Web3 in general. And they really want crypto as an asset class to be permitted in the country. The government, kind of in response to that, launched the CBDC, which we talked about last week. What CBDCs are and the kind of outlook there. This is, one country where you see that example, right, that we talked a little bit about last week. So Nigeria launched the e-Naira. We talked about that as well. And actually Nigerians were, taking to it, right? Since its launch in October 2021, there's been about 13 million users that have created e-wallets. That's not in a country of over 200 million people. That's not the absolute best, but we're seeing numbers, right? We're seeing 13 million people adopt that technology, right? And that's not something that we're just seeing on the eNara side. Crypto as a whole is something that the country has been pretty keen on. So with that, the government really aims to develop regulatory instruments for deployment of blockchain technology across various sectors, and that's really what this policy is looking at, right? So they're really looking to provide that structure for tokenized assets or tokenized coins that are backed by equity, debt, or property, but not crypto, right? We want to come back to that. Um, and also in the press release, right, that the tweet is kind of acknowledging. They also really urge the public and private sector to utilize the technology in the healthcare, transportation, and supply chain industries, in addition to financial industry, right? So we're seeing them also push to say, hey, let's broaden the scope of how we're using this technology. This is really something that could be beneficial for our economy, especially on the digital side. With that, they've already, put together an approved steering committee. Nigeria's SEC seems to be focusing on fintech firms registering as digital sub brokers, crowdfunding intermediaries, fund managers, and more. So really bringing the chance for those Web3 firms to kind of officially become a part of the ecosystem, if you will, a part of the economy. And really, this is the first step in what looks to be a long line of regulatory actions to come. So exciting times in Nigeria. The three main takeaways I want to just give for this quick take is that we're seeing across the board governments are skeptical, or should I say scared, of the potential that cryptocurrencies bring to the market in competing with government currency. We see it in this case, absolutely. Number two, we do see an affinity to allowing tokenized assets, which is something that we're seeing in the States as well, right? Especially with the initial feedback that we got from politicians, kind of giving that guideline. Oh, well, the SEC should handle anything that's deemed as a security. And then outside of that, it should probably be the FTC. They've kind of started to differentiate and segment out what's going to be where, but we're seeing a little bit more affinity to the tokenized assets, which are a little bit more stable. And then lastly, Nigeria is gravitating towards crypto and blockchain technology as a whole. We mentioned earlier they were pretty big on the e-naira. Nigeria also ranks third in usage of MetaMask, which, if you don't know, is probably one of the most popular crypto wallets in the world. And they've, MetaMask seen this and recently made moves to expand its offering in Nigeria. So a lot of opportunity there. Something to definitely keep your eyes on if you are, scouting a good place to set up shop, maybe as a business, Web3 business, or if you are a retail person and you're looking at kind of those crypto friendlier countries. Nigeria may also be a place where you can kind of start to look towards. With that, that's our quick take for the day. What's your thoughts?